Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Paul Rodriguez Show. It is Monday, It is the 19th of September. Man, football season is up and humming. Huge games this past weekend. Huge college games this weekend. And the past weekend, man, we're just in the middle of it. I'm having a good time. Producer James is in the building. How you living, sir?
I'm living good.
It's been a fun time. It was a great night last night for yourself. Shout out to the Packers taking care of business. As always, to the Bears. Hey, man, y'all are young. And you get a little bit more talent on the offense. But, you know, bear down for all those Bear fans out there. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Wes Washington is running a little bit late. He'll be joining us shortly. May have a special guest, surprise guest, in there with him. Biggest takeaways of the weekend for myself, the Dallas Cowboys rising to the occasion. Cooper Rush leading the victory over the Cincinnati Bengals. Lyle Collins basically came out of pocket telling his quarterback, Joe Burrow, his new bodyguard's in town. Yeah, that was until he ran into Micah Parsons, which pretty much threw him all over the field yesterday. I know your girl is a big Dallas Cowboy fan. What did she think about that? Was she excited? Were you having to listen to all the nonsense again, or were you just waiting for Sunday night?
Yeah, but I didn't mind it too much. I mean, you know, like I was watching the game because Joe Burrow is my fantasy quarterback, and
smart.
Yeah, so I was like,
but not smart enough.
No, it's not.
He got sacked 7 times last week and 6 times yesterday.
I think he's on the trading block.
Is he on the trip? For all of y'all out there, and this is in your
I think it's
big league?
I think it's Recon.
It's the Recon League?
I think so, yeah.
Dude, I'm getting decimated right now. I'm getting, like, handled. All of my guys are just, like, not showing up for fantasy. I don't know. Maybe it's early. I don't know what it is, but probably starting 0-2 in the Recon League, which is sad. I'm embarrassed. But, you know, it is what it is.
I think I'm there too. I'm
You're about
0-2. Yeah, I'm
0-2?
0-2, yeah.
Well, you got unlucky week 1.
Dude.
Everybody, like, that's what I'm kind of going up against in my other league, my not my dynasty league, but I guess it's the MFL. Basically, Tyreek Hill. He had Tyreek Hill. He had, let me just pull it up real quick because
Tua.
No, it wasn't Tua. But that game right there, that Miami, I thought for sure Lamar was going to go ahead and just rout Miami. Wasn't going to be any kind of problems. We do shout out to Freight. We got Freightzilla. We got the game in the background. We got that humming. Your Titans I don't know if they're going to lose, but they're going to be all right. Let's see what else.
What's the score on that one? Tennessee.
I think it's 7-10 Bills right now. Last I checked, 7-10 Bills. If my app will kind of kick on so we can get this bad boy running. Of course, we're loading the team matchups as we speak right now. Here we go.
7-17 Bills.
7-17 Bills?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Oh, that means, okay. So the reason that probably happened is because when I was coming back from the facility, Diggs had just got a touchdown in the left end zone. Yeah, so here we go. That's Aaron Jones. That's from. What's up with Aaron Jones, bro? Why you had to get all the carries last night?
Because they didn't. I told you they didn't give him enough last
game.
He
had 8. He had like 18 last night.
Yeah.
Dylan did just fine. Of course, my opponent had.
I'm not complaining about nothing.
Well, I'm sure you're not. All right, so in my MFL league, I'm going up against Tyreek Hill, Amon St. Brown, Christian Kirk, and then I have Kirk Cousins to go and Jefferson to go. So, like, there's a lot going on right now.
And you're behind by how much?
I'm ahead,
Whoa.
but 30 points. There's 3 players to go.
Big players.
Tyreek Hill, bro.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill just went nuts. I mean, he's talking a lot of noise. Guess he had to kind of back it up during this regular season.
Waddle's been pretty good too.
Dude, Alabama receiver.
Yeah.
Him and Tua definitely have a relationship going back all the way to Alabama.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing how Jalen does tonight. If Jalen comes for real, it's gonna be fun to see how he's gonna. They easily right now have to walk away with that division. NFC. We won't go too far, 35 West yet, because West will definitely keep us on track from that. Biggest takeaway from the weekend from college or pro football that you thought was, for me, it was the Dolphins coming back from that. Huge slacking. The Jets too.
Cardinals.
Dude, the Cardinals ending of that game was nuts. Yeah. Hunter Renfrow looked like a normal human. It's like, dude, you're paying for It all started with the Uber, didn't it? It had to start with the Uber. Like, you knew you were destined. You're putting in your starting quarterback, your newly acquired Devontae Adams receiver, another dude in the middle, and you're taking an economy Uber from the airport to probably the facility. Hunter Renfrow just signed for like what? $17 million? Yeah. Probably $100 million in contracts in that Uber economy. Yesterday got real.
You want me to get Wes on? He said he's home.
Wes, you're home? Yes, let's get Wes on. I hope he didn't get kidnapped again. Wes Washington in the building. Let's see if we can get him online via #no ad, a system people use primarily during the the vid. I don't want to give it a right name because then we're going to get a little disclaimer put at the bottom of the video. You said this word, so we're applying this tag to your video.
What was your biggest takeaway?
I definitely say Miami was a big one. I thought Cleveland handled the Jets, but the Jets were able to come back. Dude, G5, Garrett Wilson, former Ohio State Buckeye, former Lake Travis Cavalier, went off last night. And he's on my bench. He scored 30 fantasy points on my bench. Looking forward to probably starting him this coming Sunday. Wes Washington.
Hold on.
Are we getting him queued up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely say that was the biggest takeaway. You know who looked really good that I didn't think would look as good? Jacoby Brissett and Amari Cooper. That tandem looked fantastic in yesterday's matchup against the Jets. Now, the Jets aren't the greatest team in the world, but at the same time, that combination between Jacoby and Amari Cooper looked very nice. And then Nick Chubb, I thought Nick Chubb did 3 touchdowns. I think he had like over 100 yards rushing. One of my dynasty fantasy football running backs. Fantastic production yesterday out of him. We good? We good on that? Are we good on that, man?
Yeah, just gotta
get him centered up real quick.
Yeah.
I was like, did I freeze or something? I was kind of looking at myself that way.
He's normally ready to go, but shrink him down. His head's already big enough.
Dang, bro. You getting all precise. Here we go. Getting them queued up. All I got to say is next week there's going to be a huge matchup in the NFC East between the Giants and the Cowboys, and I don't really know how that game is going to match up. Ladies and gentlemen, he is now in the building looking fresh to death with a Tupac T-shirt. What kind of lid you got on, Wes? What lid you rocking tonight?
Cowboys.
Got the all-black Cowboys. All right.
Look at him wearing it proud now.
Hey man, put it on for the team. They put a dub in the victory bell. Or they put the victory bell in the dub. Let them get that. Carry on, sir. Do you? How was what were your takeaways from AT&T Stadium yesterday with the Cowboys' victory?
Oh man, it was they enjoyed it, man. Cowboy fans were pretty hyped. It was getting out of hand. Had some unwanted visitors came over to my place last night. I think he stole my car, man. That's why it took me so long to get here, man. I had to get a ride. He stole my car, and it's been a rough night, man. I enjoyed the win, but Cowboy fans were too hyped, man. I showed you the videos. They were being petty. They were setting up high five lines for all the Bengals fans, and man, I hate to tell them, they got to play more games. That wasn't it.
So they really had, like, I saw some of the videos that you captured from the parking lot. They were really trying to give like high five tunnels for Cincinnati fans.
Yeah, for anybody that wanted to come through,
okay.
But they would kind of, get in the faces of a lot of the Bengals fans. But no, a lot of Cowboy fans went through the high five tunnels. It was good, man. They weren't being too mean, but they seemed like they were celebrating that victory a little bit too hard when you still got a long way to go. And, I just think the Bengals, man, you got to kind of look at the Bengals like, how are you, y'all supposed to be Dolphins line supposed to be better.
Yep.
You're supposed to be able to protect Burrow,
Mm-hmm.
and like it's a hunting season on Burrow, man. Everybody's just getting a piece of it.
That's what I was telling James, was that last week they had 7 sacks on Burrow, and yesterday they had 6. Now, granted, you did face a vaunted Dallas defense led by Michael Parsons, who I hope he's okay. He got a little nicked up there towards the end of the game. I hope that, he still be able to be up 100% to get after the quarterback. But with that being said, you did mention something very important, Wes, I noticed about that Cowboys victory. We all felt it, and then you tell me if you felt it too. We all felt it like Dallas was squandering that lead whenever Cincinnati tied it up. We kind of had that feeling like, oh, hell, here we go again. They're going to blow this lead. But I think that's why there was so much joy whenever Brett Maher kicked that 50-plus yard field goal to give the victory to the Cowboys, was that it was a breaking of that monotony. There was a feeling of how well Dallas carried out that kick at the end. But you're right, man. It sure felt like these fans were celebrating just a little too hard. It was almost like they felt like they won the Super Bowl as the way they were celebrating in the stands there. Is that the kind of sentiment that you felt like the game was about to be at there? Dallas was going to let it go, and then the fans were able to kind of celebrate with that kick.
Yeah, I guess maybe they just the way they're seeing it is, we're not gonna have to sit here and be 0-17. Maybe we have something to cheer for. Maybe if we can play like that, we still have a chance to win the NFC East. But my thing is, I can't worry about anything like that when you're talking about, I don't care about winning the NFC East anymore. I want to get to the divisional round, Right. I want to play for championships. You can have the NFC East. I want to play for championships.
100%. With this victory, does your hope increase with now facing NFC East opponents? Like, it's going to be different when you're facing teams outside the NFC East, but do you feel now that next week, of course, we all know Dallas takes on the Giants. With going into next week, do you have optimism, or do you feel like we all felt, I think even if Dak was healthy, nobody really was going to give Dallas a chance against Cincinnati. We knew they went to the Super Bowl. They were competitive in the Super Bowl against the Rams, who eventually won the Super Bowl. None of us really thought Dallas had a shot at winning this game with Dak Prescott. And none of us gave him a shot in hell with Cooper Rush at the quarterback position. But now that Cooper was able to, and Cooper made clutch throws. He made 3 clutch throws at the end of the game to get in field goal range. Do you have confidence going into the game with the Giants this coming Sunday?
Yeah, I'm gonna say this real quick. I gotta go get the door. It's going crazy over here. I think the Cowboys, with that defense playing the way they have, they, like I said, I think that if Cooper Rush cannot ruin the game, if he can make some throws here and there down the field, and of course you got to rely on that running game, I think they, of course, have a chance to win the NFC East, and I don't think that they're gonna be 0-17. When I saw Dak go down, I thought they were gonna be 0-17. So hats off to Cooper Rush. He came out and played a game, man, because you look at it, once the Bengals tied it up, you would have figured Cooper Rush can't put the drive together and go do this, because he was in the second half. He kind of went back to old Cooper. You know what I'm saying? So like they didn't do anything, but he stepped up and he went down there and got him in the field goal range. And now they're calling him instead of Baby Brett. Now they're calling him Money Brett Maher again. So or Barely Brett.
They're gonna jinx him, bro. I don't know what they're calling him, but they're gonna jinx his ass.
But let me check on this door. You go ahead, man. What do you want?
Dude got busy. Hold on.
Dude, did you bring my car back?
Oh, they must have been partying heavy last night with them Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. Hey, man, I guess when you get in Dallas and you're in the Big D and you get a big victory like that with a walk-off field goal to win the game, it's got to be something, highly emotional. And then to go to boot with it, like, there's so many fans out there all across Texas, just like kind of just partying all night. How many people you think called in to go to work this morning? Dallas Cowboy fans. I bet you there was easily like a couple thousand that called out. Boss, I ain't coming into work. They're like, oh yeah, you got that cowboy-itis. You got that cowboy flu. Hey Wes, you all right, man?
Dude,
Wes.
seriously, man, I got to go, man. I'm a cop. I have to call the cops on you.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
They don't let me in the house.
Oh no.
Party time.
Oh
We
my.
still partying strong up in here.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, for a second appearance this week, Damon Irvin, the cousin of Michael Irvin. Wes, where's Wes? Damon, where's Wes?
Dude, I had to put him outside for a second. He was getting a little bit too girly.
Oh man, what's
But hey,
what's
what
up?
did I tell y'all last week? What did I come in here and I told y'all last week? I told y'all it's a Cooper Rush time. And now y'all believe now, don't you? We about to gear up and make this Super Bowl run. Because that's what it's all about, baby. It's all about that star.
My gosh,
Yeah, baby.
what gnarly medals are you pulling out?
It's all about that star, baby. Hey, we had a good time last night. I got on Jerry's bus.
What?
Jerry had the glory holes going good, baby. Michael came by with that sweet, sweet booger sugar.
Oh
and
my
we had
goodness,
ourselves a good time.
Damon,
Woo!
I got a question for you. Why do you always find yourself at Wes's house? Like, what is he got like some kind of solid connection to Jerry Jones? What is it?
Just because he's a pushover, and I know I can always take over this place. I mean, I used this car last night, so
What?
you might want to get that detailed.
Oh my goodness! What? Let's look at the Cowboys. Let's look at the Cowboys matchup for the Giants next week. Are you expecting the same thing out of Cooper Rush and the defense for the Cowboys? Are you predicting victory again?
Oh yeah, come on, we're about to go on a roll here.
A roll.
You don't understand. Did you not watch the game? Did you not see that defense? You see Michael Parsons? Hey, you see, I stole Tony Dorsett's jersey out of Jerry's house. He ended up in the frame. I said, Jerry, this looks good on me. But hey, you gotta watch out for them Cowboys now. Watch out for that defense. Watch out for Cooper Rush, who's gonna be the MVP of the season. Hey, anybody need a quarterback? Y'all can have Dak Prescott.
Ladies and gentlemen, Damon Irving.
I hear the cops. I got to go.
Oh, Damon. All right, dude. Beast. No, he's not gonna be safe. What? Hey, can you let Wes back in? Make sure you let Wes. Yeah, Damon Irvin taking over PRS once again, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. How do we let Wes? How do you let this dude push you around?
I had to get my car back, man.
Did you see the mess he left in there?
Oh, dude, it smells something awful.
He said you're gonna have to get it detailed.
I don't know what they did in there. He said something about Jerry did the what he calls the Sean Waxton.
I don't
something
even know
about
what that
some
is.
hot wax on his area.
Okay. What is it with these billionaires, man? They're just so weird.
No,
Robert
so
Kraft, Jerry Jones, they're just weird cats, dude.
Dude, I'm sending Jerry a bill for
bill?
to detail my car.
That's right.
That was terrible.
Hey, man.
Man, what? The dude is crazy too. I mean, like, I had to call the cops to get him out of here. Like, I mean, but did you hear the stuff he was saying?
Yeah, craziness. Why is he talking
Cooper
about
Rush for MVP?
What is he talking about? Where do you find your friends?
Who said we were friends?
Well, he knows where you live. He knows where to take your car.
I'm gonna have to move. Dude, first of all, he was walking through the neighborhoods at the old house, you know, where it had the chandelier. He was walking through the neighborhood one time. He peeked in the window because he was like, ain't supposed to be no brothers over here in this neighborhood. What are you doing here? On top of that, he's racist as hell, too. I was like, man, ain't your cousin black? And he's like, I don't trust him either. But anyway, and then the dude just started hanging out. He just started following me around. He shows up at different places. I'm surprised you didn't see him at the game. He was doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
I was actually kind of looking for him at the game, and some of the photos or videos you were kind of taking. It would have been interesting to see that. Think about it. Think about that dude running around the parking lots and the tailgates. We need to figure out. So you need to see if you can catch him in action at some of these parking lots. People, I think some people might go. I hear the cops now. Is he coming this way? We have a huge toll road going through town. I know, dude. Okay, they're leaving. Thank God, James. I'm not talking crazy, right?
No.
You probably heard it through the feedback, dude. That's the last thing I need. Next thing you know, it's Interpol's gonna show up or something. Jeez.
Dude, I'm telling you, he's always asking me where y'all live.
No, do not. He better not be able to find our IP
wants to party
address.
with James.
You know, Wes, he likes to dox people.
Dude, I know. You got to be careful with all that. Just be careful. That's all I'm saying. Because last thing you need to know is Damon Irvin. That's the last thing he needs to do is show up here.
Yeah, he's talking about Jerry and some glory holes. What does that mean?
I don't want to even entertain what that means. That's just he's on another level, dude. He's him. How and when are you? Did you? I don't know how he's related to Michael Irvin. I just don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't understand. Those two dudes are nuts. They're wild. Wes, college football, huge weekend this past weekend. UTSA, it was competitive. It was a competitive game up until the middle of the third quarter, and then Texas kind of ran away with it. Hey, UTSA played tough. They're going to be a hard team. Whoever they're playing the rest of the year. I could easily see them winning their conference championship one more time with the level of talent they've had to play in the first 3 weeks of the season. A&M able to pull out a late victory over Miami. Y'all see the Miami cheerleaders canoodling with the core guys out there taking pictures. Yeah, man. Apparently went viral. May not be viral enough for get to y'all, but yeah, Miami cheerleaders and the core cadets were taking pictures on the sideline.
I saw something where the Clemson, was it Clemson, I think, that they were supposed to have female athletes on the field because of Title IX.
What?
And then apparently then the coach yelled for them to get the female athletes off the field.
Were they like playing in the game?
No, they were like they weren't on the field. They were on the sideline. Put it that way. They were on the sideline because I guess they were supposed to do something during the halftime, but they brought him out too early, and like the head coach for Clemson is just yelling for them to get off the field.
You're talking about Dabo Swinney?
Yes.
Interesting. I didn't hear that, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, Herm Edwards, he got fired.
Yeah.
Was it true that they fired him or that? Because they showed video of him like walking off the field and then he gets met by like two dudes. You guys know I don't know college football like that, but there was speculation that they like told him as he was getting off the field. Like
it's probable.
Is it?
It's probable. Okay. Yeah. They
First.
probably just said, "Don't go into the locker room. Go to your office." It could have been something like that. But I mean, I think if you're gonna fire the coach, you got to let him give his goodbyes to the team. Or they may have said, "Hey, we're going in a different direction. This is your last night," as whatever. But I mean, Scott Frost 2 weeks ago, Herm Edwards this weekend, Jimbo lasted another week. So, but hey, what do y'all think?
Another week,
dude. I think Jimbo's week to week, bro. He's week to week.
Oh, no way.
If he gets his ass kicked by Arkansas, goodbye.
Who can they go out and get better than Jimbo?
I bet you could find a DC or an OC out of Georgia and hire them as your next head coach.
Nah, I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. I think he gets the rest of the season, and then if he starts off next season bad, then I can see that happening. But I think he still got the rest of the season.
Hey, have y'all seen Coach O walking around? He was at the game at A&M. He got a new piece. He got new lady squeeze.
Oh yeah, I saw something about it. They showed a picture. He was in bed with some young thing.
Some PYT, right?
Yeah, well, good for Coach O.
Hey man, 17 million, 17.1 million. What time you want me to leave and what door you want me to walk out of? Did y'all see that soundbite? Dude, that's an amazing soundbite. Coach, we want to give it to you. 17.1 left in the contract. He's like, okay, what time you want me to leave and what door you want me to leave out of?
Man, but is Georgia? Do they look extra scary? Do you think that
they are? It's Georgia and then everybody else. They are a scary team right now.
I mean, they're clicking on all sides of the ball. You know,
special teams as well.
Yeah, I mean, Alabama doesn't look that impressive. Nope. Ohio State doesn't look that impressive. You know, and then after Alabama, Ohio State, it really falls off. You know, so I don't know who can compete with them. I mean, it's especially if you look at the SEC East. I mean, what do you got? Maybe Kentucky.
Maybe.
You know, if Kentucky could have the perfect storm, get some turnovers or something like that, I think they got their best chance. But only chance I think I can see Georgia losing is probably the SEC championship game against probably like Alabama, and then maybe in the playoffs you get Ohio State, or I don't know. I mean,
we're gonna I think we're gonna have a lot of clarity after this week in the SEC West with Arkansas and A&M, and then as soon as Kentucky and Georgia play, we'll have, I think, another good understanding. But I think we could easily see 6 to 7 teams in the SEC in the top 15 easily, just because of how deep they are. And you're going to have a lot of teams that are just going to cannibalize each other as they kind of get through the season. But with that kind of being said, I think Georgia is by far easily the number one team. And they even just got even better on offense from last year. And I don't really see anybody being able to keep up with them defensively. Unless there's a team that's going to come out of nowhere, which I'm kind of looking through. I mean, we can't sleep either, Wes. We can't sleep on Tennessee. I mean, they're climbing the charts as we speak. Other than that, I don't see anybody who's going to be able to keep up with them. OU hasn't been tested. Clemson hasn't been tested. Oklahoma State hasn't been tested. And a USC is going undefeated this year. I don't think anybody's going to beat them until they get to the college football playoff.
You don't think Oregon can beat USC?
No, bro. I don't think Bo Nix has. Caleb Williams is playing way too damn good right now. I think him and his receiving core mixed with that defense is so good. Their only competition they're going to have is once they get to the college football playoff. And then I think they get dominated because they're going to run into a Big Ten team or they're going to run into an SEC team, that is just going to absolutely humble them tremendously.
So, if you look in the Big 12, who do you see winning the Big 12 as of right now?
That's so hard. And the reason it's hard is because Baylor looked good against Texas State, which they needed to come off that loss previously to BYU. I think Texas's defense is a lot better than what they played against this past Saturday. And if Quinn Ewers comes back, Texas could be the lead dog. But right now, I think it's going to come down to, if I had to pick two teams, I'm going to pick Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. Right, like today. If it's two teams, it's those two teams. But I think Oak State is better than Oklahoma overall due to their quarterback play and their head coach, because Brett Venables hasn't been there long enough. And the quarterback for Oklahoma, I just don't think he didn't have enough experience. But the dark horse for me is Texas. I think if Texas gets Quinn Ewers back and the defense plays the way they've been playing, they could be the dark horse to get through the victory for the Big 12 championships, which that's what I said in the beginning. But I didn't think Quinn Ewers was going to get hurt the way he did against Alabama. And if Quinn Ewers wants to continue to be playing football, stop jumping in the air and throwing the ball. Just keep your feet on the ground.
Yeah. And a lot of people thought that was a dirty hit, but I was like, it wasn't.
It was clean.
Yeah.
It's a clean hit. Yeah.
I think a lot of Texas fans think it's a dirty hit because it's Alabama.
Maybe.
And they they go back to the 2010 national title game. And
2007.
you
No,
know.
no, 2010.
2010.
Sorry, stuck in Vince Young era.
What you?
And that was
Oh,
06.
I was talking about
Colt McCoy.
The other dude.
Yeah. It
Colt
was
McCoy.
very reminiscent. Same type of, not the same type of injury, but same type of hit on the quarterback.
Well, a lot of people were saying, I mean, you had Drew Brees tweeting that he should have just, get some of that loving on the sideline, get some injections or something like that, and get back out there.
Yeah, I don't know if Texas does Toradol, but there could be other pain relievers that kind of could be used as well.
So,
James, you have something?
All right.
No, I thought James gave me that look like he had something. I think he chimed in with his his trip down memory lane. You all right there, Wes? You had to clear your throat or something?
Oh yeah, I'm good, man.
Right.
I'm good.
Tell me where you found that
Just,
cowboy hat.
excited
I like
to be with you guys, man.
it. Yeah, I love doing this with y'all. Tell me where you found that cowboy hat. I really like it.
My hat?
Yeah.
I got it for my birthday this year when I was in Austin. My friend Heather Curtis got it for me.
His friend.
My friend, she's actually married. I know her husband. They came over to my birthday party in Austin, and she got me a Dallas Cowboy hat.
Where was our invitation?
I didn't know the party was kind of last second because the day of my actual birthday was the funeral. So
Yeah.
we kind of like last second go, hey, we're going to have a birthday party. Maybe 7 people showed up. I didn't really. I put the invite on Facebook, so that was your invite.
Not good enough.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Not good enough.
Or we could have done
shout out to
something.
Heather Curtis for my hat.
We could have done something when he was scheduled to, be in person.
Yeah, that's true.
But we all know what happened.
It was a long night. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into a quick break. Give us 5 minutes. We'll come back, get a little bit deeper into the NFL, look at some matchups for the upcoming week. We'll also take a look at our records through these 2 weeks. They may not include tonight's games, but we all selected the same teams to win. So whatever our records are, you can just add 2 wins to it, and that'll be the records. I have a feeling that 2 people are not going to be too happy, and I'm one of them. So give us 5 minutes. 8:12. Check back at 8:17. We'll be back.
Wow.
Welcome back to the show. Let's get into it a little bit quicker now as we move forward. Huge injury yesterday to Trey Lance, the future at quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers. Luckily, Jimmy Garoppolo was not traded, and they were able to keep him in their stable of quarterbacks as they move forward. Very lucky, very pivotal insurance policy to keep Garoppolo back around to have, that backup in case there was some kind of shortcomings for Trey Lance. With that being said, lots of questions have been asked around the NFL on shows. I think it's safe to determine that now that Garoppolo is back at the helm for the 49ers, they are a threat in the NFC East to get back to the Super Bowl, or maybe not. If they're not back there, they'll definitely be contending for a Super Bowl. What are the things that we're going to take away from this injury for Trey Lance, West? Do you think this is going to set him back, maybe back 2 years, because he'll have a limited time as QB1, or do you think he'll have a recovery that he'll be able to jump back into the 2023 season?
To tell you the truth, I think it's got to really do with how Garoppolo does while he's out. If Garoppolo takes his team, let's say, runs with it, maybe gets them to a NFC Championship game or say to the Super Bowl, I think you got to give the job to Jimmy and maybe you kind of move on for Trey Lance and try to get rid of him while he's still, still got a big upside to him. It's just, especially in the NFC, I think it's kind of wide open, and I could see San Francisco doing some damage. Who else scares you in the NFC? You got Tampa Bay. I don't think the Rams are the same team as last year. They haven't looked to be, but maybe they turn it on late. Then you have what?
Green Bay.
Are you putting Green Bay in it right now?
Yeah, I think Aaron had his mulligan, and he's had a mulligan for the past 3 years in a row, where the first year he just lays an egg and then turns it on. He looked very good and very comfortable with Garoppolo. I don't want to get into Green Bay yet. That was going to be our next team we talk about. But as far as Garoppolo being with the 49ers, I think you're spot on, man. And wouldn't it make a lot more sense if Jimmy does have a fantastic season? You gain high trade value for him in the future, where a team may be looking for a new quarterback. I don't know, Tampa Bay. I know Kyle Trask is there, but wouldn't it make a lot of sense for Tom to go out on his horse, maybe with the ring, and then you bring in a guy like Garoppolo to, follow suit, who is probably comparable to Tom. And if not, there's going to be a quarterback out. Seattle can look for a quarterback, but I doubt they make that trade within the division. But maybe there's an opportunity where you send Garoppolo for maybe future picks or contingent picks that are going to be suitable, that are going to be necessary kind of for San Francisco to fill in the gaps. Because right now, Elijah Mitchell's out. They're going to be a heavy running team now that Trey Lance is no longer at the helm. And they're going to go back to ground and pound. We're going to throw to Kittle and get Debo in the slot over the middle, probably utilize him in the background or in the backfield, just like kind of how Dallas using Tony Pollard.
Yeah, but can you count on Skittles?
Yeah, that's tough. You're right, but you can definitely count on Debo. And Debo's going to
be Debo, but I think you got to have Skittles there to kind of open up the field for Debo. I think you can count on it right now. If they're not running the ball well, you can be all over Debo, because who else are they throwing to? So I think they definitely got to get Kittles back and got to get him in the mix. Got to get a healthy Kittles for sure. But I think a lot of quarterbacks in the NFC are playing for starting positions maybe on other teams next year.
Yeah.
Because I can see somebody in a new quarterback for the Saints next year. I can see definitely a new quarterback in Atlanta next year. I can see a new quarterback probably in Washington. I can see a new quarterback in New York. I think there's a lot of jobs that are going to be up for grabs coming in next year. What about even the Rams? If you're talking about a older Stafford who is having some problems, if he, if it's it kind of way he has a great season or even gets or maybe wins another Super Bowl, why would he come back for next year? So I could just see a lot of jobs in the NFC quarterback wise up for grabs. I see it right here in Dallas too.
A lot of fans would not agree with you regarding the Dallas one, but one you did say was interesting. Well, maybe two. I think New York, you're right. I think Atlanta, you're right. Washington and New Orleans, though, I don't think they're going to go in a different direction due to the fact that I think Jameis's arm, I understand his interceptions are a problem, but I think Jameis's arm is what keeps him around. Michael Thomas can erase some of his errant throws. And I think with Washington, I think they bought in so much to the MVP season that Carson had. They're just going to ride that dude out until the wheels falls off. I don't see them making a move, but for Atlanta, New York, I think you got a lot of insight on those two positions. As far as Dallas, Jerry paid him too much money. We would love to see a replacement with Dak, but I don't think so. What I will say about the Cowboys is, if Kellen Moore would call the same plays that he did yesterday when Dak's in there, I think Dallas could be extremely successful, even more successful than what they have been. Because it was a dumbed-down, run-heavy, run-centric offense, and you're throwing on play action. And you're throwing on comeback routes to CD. They don't do that with Dak.
Yeah. Quick question. Mm-hmm. What was your take on, I can't remember if you said anything, the take on the Tampa Bay defense saying that they knew what Dallas was going to do because they watched film from last year and they knew they would try to do the same things.
Not surprised.
What's your take on that?
They're professionals. They should know. You should know what your opponents are going to be running based off formations and off who the personnel is. You can get a pretty good gauge, but that also tells you now, if they knew exactly, like if they're telling me, I know what play you're running, that's different from where the ball is going. If you can tell me where the ball is going pre-snap, then I think you're being a professional. If you're telling me what the play is, if the defender is telling the offensive person what the play is, then I think that's a coaching problem. And we all know Dallas has a coaching problem. We have an offense coordinator problem, and they have a head coaching problem. And the head coach almost squandered another pivotal situational football awareness moment in that game yesterday. And I'm like, why are we calling timeouts when you should be getting the ball? Or why are we calling a timeout and you're letting 4 seconds run off near the end of the half or near the end of the quarter? It doesn't make any sense. And so they're making continued, not to mention the undisciplined penalties that are being occurred on the offensive line. Not to mention the boneheaded defensive penalties that are on the other side. They're just undisciplined.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you see that the incentives that Jimmy G is being like the bonuses as far as like winning?
He's gonna get them all.
Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah. I had made a little thing right here, so I got it for you right here. So for each game that Jimmy Garoppolo plays at least 25% of the snaps, he earns $250K. If the 49ers win that game, the number jumps to $350K. As a starter going forward, he now has a chance to earn $5.6 million via incentives in the regular season.
That means he'll be over $30 million for the year. That man, dude, yeah, that Trey Lance broken ankle is everything and more to Jimmy Garoppolo. And I don't know if y'all saw the press conference, but I did. And Jimmy was like, oh, we feel real bad for Trey, but he's our brother. We're going to pick him up. Meanwhile, he had this big shit-eating grin across his face while he's saying all that. And it's like, dude, his misfortune is your bag. Unfortunately, that's just the way the real world is.
Things could have went like a totally different way, because we've been discussing sending Jimmy G to Dallas or, to a team that could, use him as a starting quarterback.
Right.
Ironically, here he is now. Unfortunately, the injury has been suffered to Trey Lance, and now Jimmy G is a starting quarterback moving forward. It's the way the game goes, right?
Unfortunately, yeah. And it's you got to give John Lynch all kinds of credit. He didn't send him. He didn't move him. And so by him keeping Garoppolo in the building, he probably told himself, it's better to have two quarterbacks, 2 1s, than 1-1 and probably a back. If you have to go with a QB2, makes better sense to have two QB1s.
Because now you're looking at, like you were saying earlier, them competing, like making a legit run, a deep playoff run, potentially back to the Super Bowl, and instead of being like, oh, well, you know, Trey Lance suffered an injury, you know, maybe we'll make it next season or something like that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like it's just two totally different things.
Instead of Trey Lance now being the quarterback for the Niners are the team who went to the NFC Championship 3 out of the last 4 years. 2 out of the last 3 years. Excuse me, 2 out of the last 3 years. They're that team, and one of those years they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, which I don't care for.
Sure, you're on the other end of that. Speaking of the other end,
yeah.
Last night the Green Bay Packers handled the Chicago Bears at Lambeau Field. Pouring up ayahuasca in the end zone, bro. What are they doing?
He owns them.
Well,
he owns them.
It's his team.
It's his team, literally.
He said it in the interview after the game, post game. He goes, "This is my team." You know, the Packers. Which, yeah, it is his team.
I think he was talking about the Bears. He owns the Bears too. So.
I think he owns a lot of teams in the NFC North. A lot of teams.
But I mean, if that might be another quarterback position up for grabs next year if he doesn't improve. You know, if Justin Fields doesn't improve, I mean, how much longer can you?
I think
give him that job?
I think Jordan. As soon as Aaron's done, he's not going to be Aaron Rodgers, but man, I think he may be better than about 20 other quarterbacks because of what he's learned from Aaron. Think about it. He's going into his 3rd year. This is Jordan's 3rd year behind Aaron. And when Aaron's done contractually, it'll be 6 years. So he'll have 6 years to learn from one of the best, arguably the best to ever do it in the NFL.
Do you think he waits?
Oh, yeah.
Wait
yes.
3 more years?
He's going to be on his rookie deal, and all he has to do is stay there. And if he signs an average QB2 contract, he'll be making $3-4 million a year. To just sit there, and then then his time starts. Because Aaron was 3 years? He sat 3 years.
No, I believe it was 4.
Okay, he sat 4 years, and then boom, turned it on. But we all knew, they knew in Lambeau, they're like, this guy's different.
Yeah. Speaking of Brett Favre, he's
Favre, here we go.
Not too popular these days.
That's
all I was gonna say.
He just keeps getting in shit, doesn't he?
He's doing it on purpose, man. Keeping his name keeping his name alive. You know what I mean?
But why would you?
But why would you do it this?
Yeah,
what he did now, that's not how you want your name.
Because we all know Brett Favre had a hard time letting go. You know how he was like, this season I'm gonna call it quits. Nah, never mind. I'm gonna come back.
And then what other things kind of bother me was like he would just have a hot take that just like, why is anybody talking to Brett? Like, dude, you got a nice home in the country. Just go hunt and coach high school football in Mississippi. But no, you got to just put it out there. And then you pass judgment on a lot of topics, and then you get caught doing what you did with these funds. Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Come on, man. In one of the poorest states in the United States, Mississippi, you're going to use funds for entitlement benefits to your advantage, allegedly. I don't know what the story is. All I know is that a headline came across about some funds being misused, misappropriated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Politics.
What was I going to say? Justin Fields. You see what he said about the Bears fans? It wasn't anything like...
No, what did he say?
So he just said, because they were like, does it hurt, did you hear the fans, complaining or upset, about, and he goes, I feel more upset when I walk into the locker room, because the fans, they don't do no work. The guys that I'm in the locker room with the teammates, they're the ones that put in work day in and day out. I know how hard they work, so it hurts when I walk into that locker room.
I know what he's saying.
Yeah.
I know what he's trying to say.
You know how it comes across.
But, dude, you can't talk about the fans.
But, hey, just because the fans are putting in work, but it's still, man, it takes a lot to go to a football game. It takes a lot of your time.
The fans do put in work. They do.
Yeah.
They pay their hard-earned money to go watch you play.
Time and money.
Merchandise. You You think your jersey check sales isn't work? Come on, man. He just said it wrong.
The work it takes to go to these games for a lot of people is work. Like a lot of people you go to the Cowboy game, it's the hard tailgate. You got people setting up almost like little mini stores, basically, or areas, and feeding a lot of people, just anybody that comes by.
Do you go tailgate, Wes?
A lot of times, they get there early and leave really late, because they're cheering on these fans. So for him to cheer on these teams, so for him to say something like that's kind of harsh, man.
Now let me play devil's advocate real quick, and he didn't intend to be critical of the fans. I don't believe. But what I do believe was that he was trying to protect his teammates who are putting in the physical labor in practice, film study, the weight room, the nutrition. He was basically trying to give them a little bit more credit than the fans. I believe it just came across as he just misspoke. He didn't see, I think, clearly the intent of his message. And I really believe he wasn't trying to be critical of the fans. He just misspoken by saying that he wanted to give more credit to his teammates than how the fans contribute. Yeah. But you can't be critical of the fans because they pay the money, that pay your salary, that allow you to play a kids game and get paid millions of dollars. Just to be real with it. So just going to say, I'm going to protect the fans, but I'm also going to protect the player a little bit too. It's like, bro, you just said it wrong. I know what you said, but you just said it wrong. Anybody disagree with what I said?
I agree.
And I'm always grateful for our fans out there. Hello.
I know. I noticed we don't have any Bears fans tonight. If there are any Bears fans, let us know. Put a bear down emoji so we can see who you are. We'll see where you're at.
I know, you put a crying emoji.
Hey, easy.
I know one. She's not gonna tune in. She James hurts her feelings all the time.
I really wanted to see what the banter back and forth would have been today, because James keeps a sharp eye on the comments. Shout out to Fradzilla and Papa Romeo out there. As far as that Spavital Aggie talk, that's just hyperbole. That's far fetched. I mean, I hope he leaves, but I don't know. Yeah, we need a new coach in San Marcos, Texas. Spavital getting it done.
Are the Bills slowly becoming the favorite in the AFC?
Bro, they were my favorite last year. They were my favorite after the season was over. I picked them in the Super Bowl. I picked Dallas there too, but I picked the Bills in the Super Bowl last year. Like after the Super Bowl was over.
Way too early Super Bowl pick.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sticking with that. They're a juggernaut, man. Mm-hmm. They're just strong.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're thinking on that Dallas pick, dude.
I wanted to relive the 90s, my guy. I wanted to relive the glory days, you know?
Yeah, see, fans like you are the problem.
You know what? Fans like me keep fans like you motivated to kind of be critical. And then whenever the Dallas Cowboys win, you just put that merch on. You put that good old Jerry Jones merch on.
First of all, I wear the merch all the time anyway.
You do.
I mean, that's just most of my wardrobe has Dallas Cowboy or Arkansas on it, so I have no choice.
It's even worse.
But
you just you just walking around like a Jerry Jones logo.
Hey, I wear the Mavericks and the Stars, Rangers. Wear a lot of Ranger stuff too.
Hey, do you think Jerry owns a little bit of the Mavs, or has Mark Cuban got it all?
It's all Cuban. It's all Mark. I don't think Cuban and Jerry like each other.
I could see them being butting heads.
You have $2 billion. I have $3 billion. I don't like you.
It's more than that, but yeah, that's about right. It's about that kind of conversation.
Are you starting to believe in the Dolphins after?
No, man. I think Baltimore forgot how to play defense.
That's tough.
That's what I think. They have a young secondary, and their pass rush. They don't have a pass rush right now.
Maybe I'm just saying. Maybe Tua figured it out, because he's got a good wide receiver core.
Sure, give anybody Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Give that to Dallas. Give that to Prescott. Give that to Tom. Give that to Kirk Cousins.
Give that to Dak and say, here, break a leg.
Dude, okay, here's one. Give that.
Dak ain't gonna do it.
Give Jalen and Tyreek to Aaron Rodgers right now. Son. Bro.
So I'm just saying. So maybe he's figured it out. I mean, just saying.
It's easy to figure it out when you have a bunch of help.
I'm just saying you gotta feel you gotta feel better right now if you're
that's
part
true.
of the Miami Dolphins.
You gotta feel better. I can agree with that. That's true.
If you gotta feel better than if you're a Cleveland Browns fan. I mean, how do you just shit the bed like that?
They were playing so well, and then they forgot to play defense in the fourth quarter. I'm sorry, they forgot to play defense in the final 2 minutes of the game.
But it was also times that they could have sat on the ball. Or not gone out of bounds.
Correct. I 100% agree with you. That's where it's just boneheaded football. Lack of situational awareness.
Is that coaching?
I think it is. I think it's also on the players too. Me and certain individuals, we get into this discussion, coaching or players, and like for Dallas yesterday, whenever there's a boneheaded mistake near the end of the game, why isn't the coach calling a timeout, or why isn't a player staying in bounds? Why isn't this, why that? And I'm just like, like when Burrow drove down to score the touchdown, is like, was that bad defense? 20 plays, 90 plus yards. But before, none of that occurred. Was that play or is that coach? I think it's a little bit of both.
What I was kind of salty about? I was like, where's the Devontae Adams versus Packers wide receiver count this week? I was like, come on, I don't see it. Not once. From nobody.
All I know is Devontae is missing Aaron, and Aaron is missing Devontae. Now, last night, Aaron had Lazard, who came back, and Lazard made Green Bay look a lot more comfortable. But
Sammy Watkins also came to play.
Well, Sammy learned how to run a route again.
Yeah.
That's the difference. He learned how to run a route again. And Josh Dobbs, it's not Josh Dobbs, Romeo Dobbs. As soon as he can figure it out, dude, he's going to be sick. He's going to be so good. And then Watson has a lot of speed, but he just can't catch right now. That's why they're – no.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Yeah,
That's why they're throwing him the chest passes. Because he can't catch right now. He just can't.
What do you think it is?
I think he's not – he hadn't have enough experience.
Think it's nerves or what?
No, I think it's experience.
Oh, okay.
I think he played at North Dakota State, 1AA, never got to see high-level quarterback play, and now he's playing with – one of the best to ever do it. And he either can't see it or he just can't, he ain't in it yet. His mind ain't there. Because you got to think about, like, how hard Aaron's probably on these dudes.
Yeah.
Like, he's probably saying, you MFers need to get your head out of your ass and do better. I'm not here to babysit y'all. That's the kind of shit he's talking about in the locker room.
Are the Raiders the last place team in the AFC West?
The Raiders look... Derek Carr looks like hot garbage right now. He can't, and his receivers, Hunter Renfrow, bro, he looked like a human. He looked like a human. He didn't look like an NFL player yesterday. He looked like a human. He got hit by grown-ass predators. And I say predators for men who have alien blood, like DK Metcalf, Isaiah Simmons, Micah Parsons, dudes like that. They're aliens. Derrick Henry's another one. He's getting old though. He's getting long in the tooth. But they're predators, dude. They have alien blood. And when Isaiah Simmons hit Hunter Renfrow got reset. They hit the reset button on his brain. That ball just came out. DB came over. Did you see the way the DB picked it up? It was like a walk in the park. He just like went and just palmed the ball.
One-handed.
Palmed the ball in stride as he's bending down, bending at the hip and the knee, picks it up, full speed in 3 steps. I was like, man, Raiders look bad. And I think they're not running Josh Jacobs enough. They need to run Jacobs way more.
I was watching that game with the kiddos, and they couldn't believe it because my son was going for the Raiders because Devontae Adams. I'm like, dude, I was like, let it go, bro, let it go.
Okay, Elsa.
But I was going for Arizona. Yeah.
You want to know who's a predator too? That's Kyler Murray. Did y'all see the field level? He's got all his linemen, and he's 5'10". You're at field level. How can he see? How could he see AJ Green coming across the middle. And just AJ Green's not even in the frame yet, and he just rips it, catching the end zone.
Yeah. There was a thing that they had said, I don't know if it's true or not, but it was like a note on the scouting report, and they were like, this guy moves like a 3-year-old who just stole the phone from his mama.
Talking about Kyler Murray?
Yeah. And it's kind of reminiscent of what he did on that 2-point conversion, right? Right, it was.
Dude, I mean, I had my buddies in in my dynasty league, and they were basically talking. They're like, nobody's gonna spy Kyler Murray, and they're like, how can you spy him? He's too fast. They're like, you can't put a linebacker on him. You can't put a safety. You have to literally put a DB, a corner that can match his speed, and even if that, he'll outrun your angle.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is. He's like a 3-year-old who stole his mom's cell phone, and he's just running around, giggling everywhere. Wes, do you see him as a toddler since you're 6'6"?
But my next question is,
no. He's like, next subject.
Yeah.
Do you see the Tannehill experiment being over
Bro,
soon?
you're gonna piss off Fradzilla. That's all I know.
Nah, I think we're gonna make him happy. I think he's done with the Tannehill experiment.
So who do you send in there? Garoppolo?
I don't know. I mean, because aren't they basically a quarterback away from being good? I mean, it hurts they lost Brown.
Yeah, that's a big loss.
That's a big hurt. But I think Tannehill is kind of am I wrong? That Tannehill is keeping them from being better.
I don't think that's true. Just because if your run game is where you're at, you're going to run Henry and you're going to play action off Henry, and you're expecting Tannehill to make the play action throws and maybe one deep ball a game and everything else medium underneath. I think Tannehill can do that. But the problem is like if you let Tannehill go and you go bring in someone who maybe doesn't fit the system, then you're going to be like twice as far behind than you should be. But I don't think it's time to let Tannehill go. I don't think they should have signed him for what they did sign him a couple of years ago. They should have let him ride that contract out. But at the same time, it's like if you trade your best receiver during the draft, that tells me you're not looking to win. You're looking to rebuild. And it's like, if you're going to do that, you might as well ship out your quarterback, get some value for him, and start all the way over. But they don't want to do that as well. Remember, Wes, they were the number 1 team in the AFC last year going into the playoffs. The number 1 seed. Now, granted, they got knocked out the first round, but still, they can win. They just don't win the playoffs. Sounds like a certain team I know. Dallas. I wouldn't give up on Tannehill yet. I know Fradzilla may not want to hear that, but I wouldn't give up on Tannehill yet. But you need a new receiver 1, because you got rid of
who is a receiver 1? Is it Woods?
I would say Woods is cute as a receiver 2. I don't know who 1 is. That's how bad it is. I don't know who it is. All right, 8:48. Let's get into a quick break. We'll come back, break down a little bit of college, get off the rails a little bit. House of Dragon turned wonderful last night. That's all I got to say for all those people who watch House of Dragon. And if you're, for some people, don't watch it. But for us other people, highly entertaining.
Targaryens.
Daemon Targaryen. Rhaegar Targaryen. Beyond the Veil. Gotta be Beyond the Veil. Yep. All right, guys, give us a few minutes. We'll be back, 8:49. When we come back, talk a little bit of college football. I know you want to talk about that A&M Arkansas match. I know you do, Wes. You can see it. Ooh, look at it. Eh, son, let's get into it.
You get a refill? Please, so.
Welcome back to the show. Let's get into a little college football talk before we get off the rails. This weekend, big matchup. There's actually a few big matchups, but the one I want to focus on mostly, probably talk a little bit more about that tomorrow as well. The number 10 Arkansas Razorbacks are heading to Kyle Field to take on the 24-ranked Texas A&M Aggies at Kyle Field. Shout out to all the Razorback fans and the A&M fans. It looks like we have some prognostications going in the chat. We'll get into that a little bit later. Wes, talk about what it's going to take for the Arkansas Razorbacks to pull the victory this weekend. Will it be as easy as showing up, or will they have to really get a little dirty and put in some hard work this coming Saturday?
I mean, yeah, of course it's going to be, I think, hard work. And they get, and I think because of the scare against Missouri State, I think they got to be ready for this one. I think they got to understand that, hey, we just can't show up and beat people. We got to go out here and execute and, play Arkansas football. So hopefully it's a wake-up call against Missouri State. They go in here and they go into Jerry's World and get a repeat of last year. A big old dose of running game between Jefferson and Sanders, and then, him hitting some play action passes down the field and playing tough defense. Arkansas's defense, their linebacker core is probably maybe the best 1-2 punch in college football.
Over Georgia?
Bumper and Sanders from the transfer from Bama. I mean, dude, they were showing out the game before against South Carolina, man. They came out playing big time. This game, they struggled at the beginning, but, they start to click at the end, and I thought they looked pretty well. Special teams had to make some plays. So, man, bring it on. In Jerry's World, it should be. I mean, I think it's going to be a big-time, exciting college atmosphere. I think both teams show up pretty well, especially for this game. And being in Jerry's World, it's usually pretty electric. So, can't wait.
Definitely going to be a huge matchup this coming Saturday. I think we're having the tale of the tale being the difference between a heavy defense being able to stop heavy scores. That would be the A&M defense. And then you have a defense who's giving up a little bit more points, that being the Razorbacks. Right now, Arkansas is giving up 27 points per game, and A&M is giving about 8.7, so a little over 8 points a game for the fighting A&M Aggies. The points, though, I think is going to be a lot more of a premium. I think this is going to be a shootout. I don't think it's going to be as high as some people are saying. I think there's definitely going to be – this, to me, is going to be a classic 24-21, 27-21 kind of matchup. You can pick who you want. I'll give my prediction tomorrow on who wins that game. But this is definitely going to be the game where it's going to be a few touchdowns for each team, and a couple of kicks are going to have to go a certain way in order for that victory to kind of get pulled out. Right now, the over-under is 48.5, so that kind of goes in line with where the score, I think, will be at the same time. A&M is a 2.5-point favorite at the house. Those kind of matchups turn out to be a coin flip, so this could be anybody's game. I think it's going to come down to defense, and it may be also who's going to come down with the ball last at the same time. For A&M, I think Max Johnson should continue to get the start at the quarterback position. A-Chain, I think, is going to be – it's going to have to be on him in order for A&M to pull out the victory. And as far as the defense, A&M's pass rush is not there. I think that'll be to their benefit as long as they can corral and keep KJ within containment. I think that helps them. But they're going to need to funnel him all the way into the middle of the field so they can have as many bodies on him as possible. Not to mention, there's got to be a spy. Don't you think, Wes, for KJ and his fleet of foot, there's got to be a spy in order for to kind of keep him contained, as far as also having your ends rush upfield to kind of keep him at bay and not get to the sideline?
I mean, I don't know if that ever works. Cause
really,
I mean, if he's got to be as good an athlete or as be the size and speed of KJ, in which I think he's bigger than most linebackers in the college football. So, like, he's such a big guy. Mm-hmm. So I think he causes a lot of problems because he will run through you. but he's good enough to make some throws down the field. Right. You know, he's definitely not a pocket quarterback, but he can make throws definitely on the run. So that's what makes it difficult, because you get in that in between of, do I take him or do I stay with the receiver a lot? So it's gonna be a fun game to watch.
For this game, 6:00 kick, Saturday the 24th of September at Kyle Field. Like right now, Arkansas is averaging 38 points a game, and Texas is averaging just about 21 points per game. Wes, how do you see this? Do you want to give your prediction now, or do you want to wait till tomorrow, or do you think that you're going to give – I have a safe feeling you're going to give Arkansas the advantage going into this game, but it's definitely going to be a huge primetime matchup at Jerry World. Do you like this game to be tight, or do you think it's going to be a little bit of a blowout with how well Arkansas has played this year?
I mean, you know who I'm picking, so I don't know what that's about. But I definitely think it's a tight game. I see it a field goal winning at the end type of game for sure.
Yeah. All right, so you like Arkansas with the walk-off field goal?
Yep.
All right.
Come on.
Hey, we got to ask. We don't assume around here.
Yeah,
right?
I try not to assume, just because, you know, if I assume one time, you're going to call me out on it like the next time. How come you assumed it would just go this way?
We don't assume around here.
Just don't assume with the Cowboys. Or you can assume this year I'll be taking whoever the Cowboys play. Yes.
All right, you're going to be picking the Giants and the Eagles. Wow.
Who didn't pick the Cowboys?
Oh, no, I won't pick the Eagles. I know the Eagles are going to win, but I don't like saying it.
Nobody picked Dallas this past week.
We still got to show our records.
Oh, so speaking of, let's go ahead and transition that. Producer James was able to bring an edit. This is the score. These are the records for the past 2 weeks in the NFL based off our pick'ems.
Yeah. Not counting tonight's Monday night games.
But what's the caveat for that?
Everybody picked the same. So our records are.
And based off of our picks, are those teams winning right now?
Let me check it out. No. We picked the Bills. We did not pick Philadelphia. We all picked Minnesota.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I was going to say, man, I know I didn't pick no Eagles.
So we'll all add a win and a loss.
Yeah.
So through 2 weeks, if the scores hold up the way they are, we'll just leave those out for now. So looks like Wes and I are both tied at 15-15, and James is coming out at 12-18.
I shit the bed last week.
Oh, did you?
I was 4-12.
Wow. Yeah. So for all those people, did what? We'll be getting our picks tonight. Look at the disappointment on Wes's face.
Wow. Why is he disappointed?
Because he thought he was going to win.
He didn't.
I didn't say it's over.
No. I didn't say it either. But you knew you thought you would be ahead this week. You thought you would be ahead every week.
Oh yeah. Of course, you play to win the game. Shout out to her.
Yeah.
You play to win the game, so of course I thought I was gonna be winning. So but it's all right. We'll get back in the lab. We'll figure some things out where I'm going wrong. Sometimes I think I pick with my heart, my feelings too much, and I have to maybe stop doing that and take you guys, take y'all for real, and not, as people that can't compete with me. I can't look at it that way.
You got to stop letting people take your cars, which you need to stop doing.
That's damn right. Damn right.
First of all, y'all don't know how crazy that fool is.
Well, I don't want to know how crazy he is, because he's definitely crazy enough to go take people's cars and leave you with a detail bill at the end of the day.
I don't.
Giving me ideas if you ever come to town. Hey, giving me ideas if you ever come to town.
What?
If you ever come to town, he's giving me ideas.
He'll probably
show
hang
up.
Out
with him?
Huh?
All right.
No, I'm saying I could just take your car and leave you with a detail bill.
I thought you wanted to hang out with him. I was like, I'll send him your address. Y'all can hang out.
I know you will.
Yeah, why would you want to do that to me? I thought we were friends. This guy is obviously not my friend.
I think he's your friend. I think you're just being a little sensitive.
Oh, I am not. Dude, you hadn't smelled that car.
I don't want to. Hey, so I got a real question. I thought you said your boss was done with the Cowboys. What happened?
Man, so he really was like he was done, but he let his dad talk him into going back to the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I was done. I was not happy about it. His wife was not happy about it. She was like, "I thought you said you were done," and then he went back. And then he was already talking about going to the next home game. I think maybe the Giants. No, not the Giants. I think it's Washington. I think it's the next home game. So
it's nice to know that they're like, that there are people out there that feel like all the Cowboy fans feel the same, no matter where you come from, what your background is. 1 week you're done with them, the next week you're right back at the stadium.
Yeah, I agree. Just last week, I mean, all the Cowboy fans I know, their defensive shields were down. There was no talk of Super Bowl. There was no talk of even playoffs. There was no talk of even winning games. And they were just like, Cowboy Nation was in shambles. Let's be real. And then this week, behind Cooper Rush and the victory, like they're back at it, dude.
I'm waiting for it to go bad.
Oh, it's gonna go. It's gonna go.
I'm Monday night. I think it's probably not gonna be pretty.
I don't know. I think
I think Barkley's gonna probably have a big game. I don't know, man. It's hard to predict.
It is hard.
It's frustrating, and like you're just waiting for him to lose because I was like sitting there watching them against the Bengals. I'm like, oh, when they tied it up, I was like, here they go. Yep. Go to the Cowboys. Get your hopes up and just let you down.
Is that true? Is that true?
Papa Romeo, read it, James.
He said the star on the Cowboy helmet is an eternal beacon of hope. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I don't know about all that.
You're my only hope.
All I know is the Dallas Cowboys, the only way they're going to continue to win is if Cooper Rush can make crucial fourth quarter throws. That's about it. Other than that, and Tony Pollard has to break 2 big runs a game. And I mean big, I mean like 50-plus yard touchdown runs. If it wasn't for Tony, they weren't winning that game. I'm just going to be real. Tony is what caused them to win that game.
You agree with that, Wes?
I mean, somewhat, but I mean, there's also a lot of others to factor in because, Burrow did not have a great first half. He was, he was feeling it, and I think that was big, and I think they finally Diggs came up and made a good play at the right time.
That was a good tackle.
I think you got to give a lot of credit to the defense, even though they did let them back in it. But I think it's because they're gassed, though. I think they're just tired in the fourth quarter because so much is on them. And, they got to, if they don't put together drives in the second half at all, don't move the ball, they got worn out.
I can't believe that Wes and I agree 100% on the Dallas Cowboys right now. 100%.
Why wouldn't you agree with what I say? Anyway,
because sometimes people crash your house and leave you with detail bills that's what gives me a little bit of pause. Because sometimes you be talking nonsense.
I gotta get to the logic. Look, I'm talking nonsense. I don't believe what he believes. I'm the opposite. No, that's him. He's only talking like that because him and Jerry are having a good time.
You're right.
Soon as Jerry cuts off the party time, dude, he'll be different. That's what he likes.
Did you get to see a clip of Jerry when Brett Mayer kicked the field goal and made it? Oh my god. He had his glasses on and he was like giddy. He was just like, I can't believe it, we won.
Yeah.
And everybody behind him is like jumping for joy. And I'm like, guys, y'all just beat Cincinnati. You didn't win a playoff game. You didn't win a Super Bowl. You didn't clinch a championship. You just won a regular season game.
Me personally, as somebody watching that is not a Cowboys fan, but I watch for fantasy football, or is it because, the lady likes the Cowboys? Yeah. I like Jerry Cam. They should have an option, Jerry Cam, and you just go over and just go to it. Because he is one of the only owners that they always show, whenever it's okay, they're driving, they have to get in field goal range, and then they go up to the box and he's there and he's like, and he's getting ready, and then they're kicking the field goal and he's there and he's, and then they make it or they don't, and they always show him. I personally love Jerry Cam.
I noticed yesterday they only showed him at the end. They didn't show him at all during the game.
Yeah.
It wasn't until the field goal was going to be lined up that they kind of put the camera. Yeah. They're like, hey, let's find Jerry real quick. Wes, what is it like? What is it like being in that box with Jerry? What is it like? I know you've been in there.
I mean, they gotta put the camera on me during those games just because I'm gonna be like, y'all just wait. This shit's about to turn and be bad.
And then when they make it, he puts on this alter ego.
But I don't hang out with Jerry. You gotta talk to your boy.
Who?
Huh? What you call his cousin that came in here and stole my car?
Oh, Damon.
Damon Irvin. I don't know if he's really Michael Irvin's cousin. Is he just probably a dude that showed up and just hadn't walked away? Because I don't even know where the dude lives. He pops up at weird times. But yeah, but hey, can we talk about though what I said about Jalen Hurts being better than Dak Prescott?
Sure.
Are you starting to believe it?
No.
All right. That's okay. Fine. Let's go. Go on, man.
That's what I wanted to get to. I wanted to see y'all fight.
Go ahead. What is there to fight about?
The fact that if you're drafting fantasy football, okay, and you have Jalen Hurts and you have Dak Prescott on the board, who you taking?
Jalen Hurts.
You're taking Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
Okay. Shouldn't that explain it all?
Better quarterback then.
He's a better fantasy quarterback. I agree with that.
What's the difference?
The difference is who wins regular season games and who doesn't.
Jalen Hurts.
Okay. What was the record for Philadelphia last season?
Who's playing right now?
Okay. What's the record for Philadelphia right now?
2-0, aren't they?
I don't know. You tell me. You're a big fan.
they beat Detroit last week, and now they're winning. Okay. I'm not a big fan. I'm just proving a point.
Right.
And I hate the
What's Dak Prescott's record right now? 0-1.
Yeah. Should be 0-2 because we should count the 49er game.
The 49er? That was last year, though, wasn't it?
But we should always count that game because that's the one that broke my heart and that's the one that's made me angry.
Okay.
That's the only game until he comes back to that position and wins the game, it doesn't matter what his record is.
All right. I'll make sure to have Justin Timberlake Cry Me a River queued up next time. Get you cry us a river. We're not low on water this year, but yeah. What's up, James? You said you looked like you had something.
Just looking. Yeah. Just going through
fantasy Here you go, dude. Are you serious? Justin Timberlake Cry Me a River? Come on, dog.
What do you want? What do you want? You want Marvin Gaye? You want Al Green? What you want?
Man, you have to admit Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback. I'm just saying, dude. Wake up.
I believe you. I believe you're just saying.
Another coffee.
I'll drink some in the morning.
So when you say better quarterback, like what all does that include? Like what does that describe? You know what I mean?
He's a better playmaker. He's a better passer. He's more consistent, and that's not saying a lot.
And then Paul says he's the better fantasy quarterback.
I believe he puts up better statistics. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So wouldn't that be a better quarterback all around?
Well,
it depends on what you consider a better quarterback.
Do statistics equate wins? That's my question.
So here's my question to you: Can you be a mediocre quarterback and still win games?
Christian Kirk.
Okay.
I mean Kirk Cousins, rather.
Kirk Cousins, yeah.
Yeah. Can you be an elite quarterback and still not win championships?
Yes,
Right.
I've lived it.
I know.
What?
Yeah, but that's not. I mean, when you're asked the question, who is the better quarterback?
Mm-hmm. Who puts up better fantasy numbers, Aaron Rodgers or Jalen Hurts? Jalen Hurts. Who's a better quarterback, Aaron Rodgers or Jalen Hurts?
I don't know if he puts up. Does he?
Oh
put up
yeah,
better
he puts
points
up. Yeah,
than-
he puts up better numbers
Since when?
since last year.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't put up better passing numbers.
So you're gonna
He puts up better fantasy numbers. That's what I said. Fantasy.
So when asked who's the better fantasy quarterback, Aaron Rodgers or Jalen Hurts, you're gonna disregard all of Aaron Rodgers' years.
I intentionally did not pick Jalen Hurts, and I picked Aaron Rodgers. I traded away 3 picks, a 1, 2, and a 3 for Aaron Rodgers, and Jalen Hurts was on my team. I cut Jalen Hurts. Now Jalen Hurts is good, but there's more to the story than what I'm saying.
Of course.
There's like money attached to those players.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is that I'm willing to go with a $100 quarterback in Aaron Rodgers than a $96 quarterback in Jalen Hurts. Because in the long run, I want Aaron Rodgers because I'm not going to have interceptions, but I'm going to have more touchdowns. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
But when you compare Jalen to Dak, I have more body of work with Dak. That's why I kind of give Dak the edge. But Jalen, you're going to say, well, Jalen does this and Jalen does that. And it's like, okay, well, if you're going to run for touchdowns, you're going to get 6. If you throw for touchdowns in fantasy, you're going to get 4.
All right. Can we switch gears? Kind of, not really, but talk about Brady throwing a tantrum on the sidelines.
That's Brady.
Is it?
That's Tom. That's Tom.
Yeah, and I'll just bring up something that Twitter world was talking about, not necessarily something that I agree about, but they're like, oh, well, if this was Aaron Rodgers, they'd be talking about he needs to be better, he needs to do this, but because it's Tom Brady, they're like, oh, that's the competitiveness within Tom.
The same thing happened with OBJ threw a tantrum and got hit himself with the net. It's the same thing. 2 weeks before that, hold on. 2 weeks before that, Tom Brady broke a tablet. He broke another tablet yesterday. That's Tom. The guy who was talking shit to Marcus Lattimore and Mike Evans came through and shoved Lattimore, that's Tom Brady. I keep trying to tell y'all, the Instagram Tom Brady, the Giselle Tom, that ain't Tom. No. Tom's that dude talking shit to everybody, cussing everybody out, telling coaches to go F off on the sideline when he's on the field. That's Tom Brady. You can't be pick 199 overall in the 2000 draft, looking like unathletic as could be, and then be the GOAT, ring wise,
for sure, without
being an MFer.
Yeah. It was crazy seeing. I saw this meme. It was like, make sure you get you a squad that defends you the way the Bucks defend Tom Brady. Like he just like walking, and they're just like smash, and he's just like.
The only thing that Tom did was talk, right?
Yeah,
Tom was stood there and talked. Everybody came and they were like defending their man.
Well, I mean, Mike Evans, even with Lattimore, I mean, they have history, obviously. When Jameis go goofy ass was over there poking at him, and then Mike Evans just comes flying out of nowhere.
Mike Evans, he got a thing for his quarterbacks.
That beef is real.
Especially if you're sticking up for Jameis Winston. Come on,
That's my quarterback.
Like I said, man, it's something wrong with that dude. Did you hear him in the last game they interviewed him in?
What was that?
His interviews are terrible. Somebody needs to work with him with his interviews. What did she ask him? Like where?
I was in pain. I was in pain. Or where was the pain, Jameis? The pain was the pain was everywhere. It was just everywhere. I was in pain. What?
What are you talking about, dude?
And his eyes are like about to like jump out of his freaking sockets.
He's can't miss TV. It's so bad. He's so bad at interviewing. It's like he's not there. It's like he's physically there, but someone's controlling his brain, and they're like, just say this. The pain was everywhere. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
But then you got this guy on the field paying him millions of dollars to be your starting quarterback.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's kind of crazy.
It's because he got a big arm. Yeah. That's it.
I mean, you kind of feel like
maybe
give him a bypass. Like I understand that they have to do these interviews, but I think that somebody needs to read a letter from Jameis Winston. Like, this is what Jameis wants to say. This is talk for him. So he does not, because the elevator's not going all the way to the top, if you know what I mean.
Man, you are not lying.
He had like what 3 or 4 interceptions past game.
Yeah, he throws a lot of them.
Yeah.
Do you think he's scared to answer questions, or do you think he's just that out of it? Like, do you think he gets hung up? Do you think he gets anxiety trying to answer questions?
No, I just think he's off, man. He's just a special cat, man. Like he's you know, he has that run art test that kind of, you don't know what's gonna come out of their mouths or what they're gonna do. Like he's just I don't know. You don't know what's gonna happen next, man. So he's a little off. Like he may. I mean, I don't know. I don't think he will have like one of those. What's his name? The Antonio Brown moments.
Okay.
You know, but I just see him. I can see him doing something weird at some point before he leaves the league, and it's gonna be like, all right, well, Jameis, it's time for you to go.
It is, yeah. He's gonna be one of those guys that like slips away in the middle of the night. You're not gonna notice he's gone. You just be like, oh, where's Jameis? Oh, he's been gone. Yeah, you're not gonna know. It ain't gonna be he ain't gonna have no big retirement. He's just gonna be like, hey, it's gonna be like Cam. Like, where did Cam go? He just left.
So if that does happen, what do you say about Jameis when he's gone? Say he leaves tonight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is he a good quarterback? Like, what do you say about Jameis?
Journeyman quarterback.
Okay.
Great in college. Journeyman quarterback.
Yeah. Like a Byron Leftwich or who else? Chad Pendleton type guy.
Mm-hmm. Pennington.
Chad Henne.
What I say? I say Henne.
Pendleton. That's a bourbon.
What's his name? Tennessee.
What else?
What?
Quarterback.
Which one?
Tennessee.
Tannehill?
Yeah, Tannehill. I don't like Tannehill. I got a friend who's a major Tennessee fan, man. And the first week they lost, I was like, bro, not to the Giants, dude. Which, hey, Giants.
Hey, Giants are 2-0, aren't they?
Saquon was being taken like 3rd, 4th round in fantasy. Running backs.
Hey, are we sleeping on Houston Texans? I think some people are. I think some people. I was sleeping.
Yeah,
I was sleeping.
I am. Yeah,
bro. It was 9-3 for a lot of that game until Russell Wilson woke up. It was 9. They were winning the majority of that game. They were winning the majority of the Indianapolis game.
Well, I mean, what's going on in the? They're like the Russell Wilson era begins.
It hadn't begun yet.
Nah,
has not begun yet.
I'm not sold on that at all. One bit. Haven't seen nothing to signify that the Russell Wilson era in Denver has begun.
I thought we were going to have like a 4-horse team in the AFC West. It's just 2. It's Kansas City and the Chargers. That's it. Other 2 teams, inconsistent. They don't look good at all. Carr hasn't found Adams. Russell hasn't figured it out. Right now, Kansas City and Chargers. Those two teams are tough.
I'm not ready to call it yet. Sometimes it takes a little time to get that gel going. Give it a little bit more time. It's only been 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's true. But I study quick, and then I'm moving on.
All right. We got a lot of football. You guys see some teams that don't look so good right now get better. You guys see some teams that look good. They're gonna get a lot worse.
So we're gonna do our picks tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna, every person each week, the person that is leading the picks for the season gets a crown on the graphic. Mm-hmm. Nobody gets a crown this week because you guys are tied, and you guys will still be tied no matter what the outcome for the game is. Yeah. So hopefully next week somebody will get the crown, the golden crown.
It's gonna be a revolving crown.
It's gonna be a crown. Okay. It's just a little. Ding.
Shouldn't we both get one since we're both leading?
There's only one crown. I can give you half a crown.
There you go.
Make sure my front is in the front of my head. That's the half I want.
All right.
I want a half on this side. I want cut it in half and give me one half, and then give the back half to Wes.
Bet.
29 minutes after the hour. Let's go ahead and wrap this bad boy up. It doesn't look like we're having time for off the rails, but if there's anything you want to leave the people with, a show, something you like, anything you messaging, let them know, James.
I did see Black Phone this week.
Okay.
It came out about 3 weeks ago. Ethan Hawke, he's the killer guy.
Apple TV?
No, I saw it on it's streaming on Peacock. I didn't see it on Peacock.
Oh, okay.
I found my own streaming site.
Gotcha.
But my daughter put me onto it. She wanted to watch it Saturday. It was good. I recommend it. Black Phone. Give it a 4 out of 5 stars. Yeah.
Shout out to Papa Romeo. He's predicting Bobcats beat Houston Baptist 35-27. I think it should be more. Well, look, we'll talk about that more.
Who won y'all's bet?
What bet?
Y'all had a UTSA.
Wes, go ahead.
Anyway, hey, good seeing you guys. Can't wait to see y'all tomorrow. And thanks for everybody that's watching, and thanks for supporting us.
No doubt. Shout out to everybody in the comments. Papa Romeo, Freightzilla Productions. It's been a good show today. I had a good time. It was fun. Nobody picked on each other. I was surprised. I don't know what's wrong with you. I think your team's won. So, James felt like he was in a good mood. Wes was in a good mood, and I decided to leave y'all alone.
I never pick on anybody.
You're right. You don't pick on anybody. Never that.
Yeah.
Never that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all so much for watching. If you enjoy the show, please like, subscribe, share it, tell your friends, tell your family. Tomorrow we'll be back 7:30-ish. We'll have our picks ready to go for tomorrow. And until then, we'll see you then. Appreciate y'all watching. Love yourself. Love your neighbors. We're gone.